Good morning, everybody. Shift your mindset here with a new episode. And this episode is based on one of the viewers who asked me, are you gonna talk about Operation Spotlight? So I didn't know about Operation Spotlight, so I did my research. It was a short research because what I found was that one of the guys of the initiative, Jimmy Bell, is urging everyone for a letter writing campaign to the officials of the United States. I believe directly to the president, the new President Trump, for the awful things Watchtower is doing and violating human rights. That's in a nutshell what Operation Spotlight is. And I also stumbled on some posts on the internet, and I saw immediately what I was afraid of. People who said, we have bigger problems than only the JWs. And then, get out of this chat room and leave us, and we are gonna make this happen, and blah, 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 with or without you. And that's what also Operation Spotlight does, in my opinion. So I'm not gonna go through with it. I'm not gonna write a letter. I'm not a JW writing a letter to Putin. I'm not an ex-JW writing a letter to President Trump. Why? Because I don't want to and I don't believe in it. I have distanced myself from religion. I give my view on my former religion. What I try to establish is taking you with me on my journey to freedom. Physical, mental freedom. Every answer in life is in ourselves. What I don't want ever again is that I put my power in the hands of somebody else. What I don't want is to be in the middle of discussions. They lead nowhere. What I want is people to start thinking for themselves. Critical thinking, encourage critical thinking. Not to see me as some kind of guy who knows everything and that you are following what I am doing just to follow. I want you to think to critical thinking, and if something, what I'm saying, is resonating with you and you can use to your benefit to personal grow yourself, you are happy, I am happy, and the world is a little bit of a better, nicer place for all of us. Because if you feel happy in yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you have trust in yourself, you can do almost everything, people. But what I see with initiatives, and I'm not judging one initiative now, but from my experience, what I see in a couple of initiatives I know, also in the Netherlands, is that people start something for a good cause. Stop shunning, for example, but then also getting caught up in that they get attention and that ex-JWs are gonna follow them and you see them grow, but it's an ego growing thing. And they weren't an elder in the JW community, but in the ex-JW community, they are being a little bit of a hero, like an elder. People look up to you, etc., etc. That is what I don't want, that anybody looks up to me. I don't want anybody to follow me for following me, because I'm just giving my own honest opinion about things. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, it's also good, because I don't like people who just follow for following somebody. I want people who have a critical mind and think, hey, what Sven now is saying, no, I don't agree with him. And that's fine. But I don't believe myself in whole protest movements and thinking that we establish something. I think the administration or the government in the United States has bigger problems than focusing on the JWs. Everybody in the JW community is not being held hostage. They are there in their free will. They are brainwashed, yes. They have a strange way at looking at things, yes. There are things happening in the JW community that aren't good at all. Like the CSA cases. But the CSA cases are everywhere. In your football team, in your volleyball team, in your neighbor's house, everywhere. The whole society is filled with those people who do bad things. But I don't believe in that the government is here to help us to end the JW religion. Because they can end every religion, in my opinion. Another person likes it to be in a church or whatever. I don't mind, but I'm not gonna intervene with that. I'm not gonna tell you that you have no right to be a Mormon, that you have no right to be a Catholic believer, I'm not gonna tell you that it's wrong that you are Jehovah's Witness. If you are happy with that, by all means, I don't care. I just give you my opinion, my journey, what I learned from being a JW, what I think is wrong in the JW world. But I'm just focusing on myself and on my things and how I can make the world a better place from within. I don't want to be in any way being busy with the JWs in a way like this protest, because then the protest doesn't work the way how you think it would work, and then you get, oh no, and we're not getting the response we hope for, and this and that, and you are still busy with all those things. I want to give my opinion to people. I want to show you how I do things, what I learned, what I did, what I still am doing, but then let go of your past. It was a valuable lesson for me to be in JW. I learned a lot and it made me to the man I am this day. If it wasn't for the Jehovah's Witnesses, I wouldn't be half the man I am today. So instead of having a lot of anger towards the Jehovah's Witnesses, it's nothing but love and hope that everybody can do the same as what I'm doing now, to think for myself and what I want in life. What is important for me, and not giving my power to anybody outside of me. I have no hope that the government is there in my advantage. I have no hope that the Jehovah's Witnesses are having the best interest for me. The government, religion, protest groups. It's all a kind of religion. People are taking the lead, people are following blindly, people are not knowing why they are writing, but because, yeah, they're so bad they are writing something. It's a movement, a kind of movement I don't like myself. I want to be independent. I want to be independent in my daily life, and I want to be independent in what I'm thinking. And I'm not thinking in a group. I'm not gonna get myself into a group, into like a kind of religion, Bible study group or whatever. I respect everybody's opinion and we can talk about it, no problem, but I'm not gonna join something because I'm building my future on my own thinking and on my own doing. That's why I'm off the grid now. Since last week, installed solar with batteries and everything heavy enough to go off grid. Water, I don't need the government for water anymore. I don't need the government for electricity anymore. We are building a beautiful vegetable garden in the back. I want to be independent on a physical note. The gate, geyser, lights, television, everything from solar panels, I'm off the grid. I don't have to buy electricity anymore, and I'm not depending anymore on if there's electricity or not, if there's an outage or not. I want to be off the grid as much as I can be. That's why we moved out of the city. We are on our own with some nice neighbors, small holding, nothing to do with other people. If I want to hang out with other people, I can go and meet them somewhere, but I don't have to. And that's the same thing in my head. I am now a very simple man and I'm loving it. I don't have anybody that's telling me what I have to do, how I have to do it, how I need to do things, how I have to treat somebody, that I have to go into the ministry. That's my old life and that's behind me. And I have peace of mind, and that, my people, is priceless. Don't have that anxious ideas anymore. There's no guilt anymore in me from my past life. And I hope everything and everyone comes to that state sometimes and comes in that type of life. Because the simpler your life is, the more quality and the better your life is. You are being more grateful. The best day in my life is when I wake up, I'm sitting outside on the veranda, I see the animals, I see the sun come up, and I have a cup of coffee. Then my life is complete. For most people, maybe it's too simple, but for me, it's brilliance. Because that's what I like at this moment. Tomorrow, I may be liking to travel, and I'm going to travel. It's more about what you feel inside that you want to do, without feeling guilty, feeling ashamed, feeling this, feeling that. And that's how I live my life. So accordingly to the viewers and one in the comments who said, are you gonna talk about Operation Spotlight? This is what I have to say about Operation Spotlight. People have to do what they want to do. I'm not judging Operation Spotlight. I'm not saying it is wrong. I am not saying that they do it for their own benefit, the one who is leading the whole thing. I'm not saying anything of that. I'm only saying it's not my cup of tea, because I don't think that the government has the best interest in his own people. I think the government now, some people see it as a savior now, other people say America is going into the grounds. Every government is corrupt. Every government has its good things and its bad things. Every government has a hidden agenda. And the only thing I can rely on is on my own and my own way of thinking. Nobody can control what I am thinking. And I choose to go for the simple life, simple thinking. The reason, ask yourself this, what is the reason that the FBI never raided Watchtower headquarters? Why? Why? They find out a lot of things. Some people get arrested. The lower fruits on the tree get arrested and get some jail time, and people are happy because, oh yeah, problem solved. But the problem isn't solved. Behind the curtains, things still go on. And we think that things are fixed. But the whole Jehovah's Witnesses, the whole government, it's one and the same, and it's controlled by a group above even the governments. People have more power. There are people who have more power than the government officials you see and even the president. So it's all one big thing that's connected with each other. So I have no hopes that if they're gonna raid some headquarters on Jehovah's Witnesses, that the religion is gonna die and people are gonna move. There always will be some kind of Jehovah's Witness religion or another sort of religion. It's not something, and I don't want to stop it, because people are there in their free will, choosing something to believe that has nothing to do with your own personal choice. And like we are following the government, people are following the governing body. And if it's not the governing body, then it's following the government. We saw it with the vaccinations a few years ago. The governing body took all the government advice and you had to be vaccinated. That was for me a sign that things are connected between the JW religion and governments. And they are one and the same behind the curtains. Because I don't think that the government or the governing body is able to do all the things they are doing now. I don't think that Stephen Ladd or Jackson or Hurt is bright enough to start a company in Ireland, that investment company that's playing with all the money of the Jehovah's Witnesses, with all the structures they do on a financial scale now. I don't think that the governing body is the brains behind that. I don't think that Lush is one financial mastermind who knows, oh, if we start something in Ireland, then we can evade the taxes and stuff like that. And I don't think the Jehovah's Witnesses who are on headquarters are qualified enough to do that either. They have worldly people working for them in that new company in Ireland. So it's all connected with each other. So a writing campaign to the government officials of the United States to look into the Jehovah's Witnesses. Be my guest, but I don't want to be a part of that. I just want to be living my life, having a relaxed life as possible without any intervention from the outside world. But everybody who does want to write with that campaign, be my guest, go ahead, do what you have to do. Everybody does it in its own way. And that's good. That's, I think, the best thing you can do. Talk from your own experience, doing things from your own experience and what you want to do. I do it this way, another does it in a smaller way. Some people stay in the organization and try to convince people at that point. It's all good, and we're all doing what we think is best at this moment. So I hope I answered your question about Operation Spotlight. Thank you for watching, guys, and see each other on the next episode.